Now, we'll look at the worldwide financial structure Calvi set up. Listen carefully. He deliberately made this complicated. From the home bank in Milan, he set up a financial company in Luxembourg called Banco Ambrosiano Holdings. This allowed him to move money outside Italian laws. From Luxembourg, he established a bank in Switzerland, the Bank of Gortaro. He then expanded operations across the Atlantic to the Bahamas, Banco Ambrosiano Overseas Limited, then to Nicaragua, Banco Comercial, to Peru, Banco Andino, and at his death, he had just completed a multi-million-dollar building in Buenos Aires, Argentina. In the midst of all of this, he went to Panama and set up a dozen shell or paper companies with names like Manic Incorporated, Bellatrix, Worldwide Trading. They were at the heart of Calvi's scheme. We'll see how in a minute. They were essentially mailboxes. One of their directors was really the switchboard operator at Calvi's bank in Nassau, the Bahamas. And it is in the Bahamas that we begin to learn how intimately tied Marcinkus was to Calvi. This is the headquarters of Calvi's bank in Nassau. Marcinkus was a director of the bank, very unusual for an archbishop. In addition, Calvi kept a home here at Lyford Key, one of the world's most exclusive resort compounds. Admission is by invitation only. It was very convenient for annual meetings of the bank's board of directors. In Washington, we asked Mrs. Calvi and her son Carlo how well they knew Marcinkus.
I knew him in the Bahamas, in Nassau, because he went to us in our house, and he stayed 2 or 3 days. He came singing Arrivederci Roma. He was always very happy and very friendly. He wanted to kiss me, and but after he went to Nassau for work with my husband, and it was a very nice gentleman.
At that time, it seemed that the business relationship was particularly satisfactory for both sides, because my father and Bishop Marcinkus appear rather pleased of their activities there in other parts of the world, for what we could tell.
Why was Marcinkus made director of the bank in Nassau?
2 reasons. One, Calvi and myself thought that the name of Marcinkus in the board would help us to create good prestige in international community. A second, because Marcinkus won't show himself involved in international banking.
So, the connection between Marcinkus at the Vatican and Calvi at the bank was very public. Now that's important to understanding how and where so much money went astray. Calvi arranged huge loans to his Panamanian companies, several $100 million at a time, from his banks in Luxembourg, Milan, Nassau, and Lima. When the loans came due, Calvi stalled repayment with what are called letters of patronage, like a banker's character reference. They said the Panamanian companies were creditworthy, and it worked, because the letters were signed by Paul Marcinkus. Calvi was seen to have a Vatican blessing. Now, for the banks involved, it proved to be a very mixed blessing indeed, for Marcinkus got from Calvi in return a secret written agreement that the Vatican would bear no responsibility for the loans, a position the Vatican maintains today. How much is involved? Altogether, $1.4 billion. Where did all that money go? Well, those who really know just won't talk about it, a general discretion. But some of the money has been traced. Calvi used about 1/3 of the money to buy shares back in Banco Ambrosiano Milan in the names of his now familiar Panamanian companies. This was a gamble to gain him control of the bank as well as of management. Now we turn to look at a different sort of use for the money, political use, by 2 organizations which have historically been enemies, the Vatican and the Freemasons.
Worshipful Master, I present to you Mr. John Smith, a candidate properly prepared to be made a Mason.
A British drama shows the initiation ritual for a Freemason, where a noose is placed around the candidate's neck.
Heel to heel as before. Another
Freemasons say that despite their bizarre rituals, they exist to help each other.
Are you willing to take a solemn obligation, founded on the principles I have stated, to keep inviolate the secrets and mysteries of the order?
I am.
I am.
Freemasonry has thousands of members in every profession, all sworn to strictest secrecy and acknowledging dramatic penalties for breaking that oath.
Than that, of having my throat cut across. My tongue
Usually,
torn out.
Freemasons are a respectable, civic-minded organization, but Calvi was a member of a very different sort. Last September 13th, Swiss police surrounded this branch of the Union Banque Suisse in Geneva. A man carrying a Chilean passport in the name of Luciano Gori showed up and tried to withdraw $60 million from numbered accounts. The police believe all the money had come from Banco Ambrosiano branches overseas. The man's real name is Licio Gelli, a former Italian fascist who had dodged arrest for 18 months. Gelli was also the Grand Master of an illegal, ultra-secret political society of Italian Freemasons. In the 1970s, he inducted almost 1,000 of Italy's most powerful men in clandestine rituals here in Rome's Excelsior Hotel. Gelli created an organization of the radical right, a state within a state, taking in government ministers, generals, heads of corporations, and major banks like Calvi, even the head of the Italian Secret Services. They called themselves Propaganda 2, P2, and when they were uncovered in March of 1981, the scandal brought down the Italian government.
It was written that P2 was aiming to a coup d'etat here in Italy. I don't think it's true. They already did the coup d'etat because the P2 members, or brothers, as they were used to be called, they occupied the most important ranks and places in the Italian administration. I mean, in the army, in the navy, in the secret services, in the state-owned oil and iron groups. I mean, in 2 or 3 banks, in the newspapers, in the magistrates. I mean, they didn't need any violent or bloody coup. They already got it in a very smooth and silent but effective way.
That silent, effective influence was strengthened when Gelli persuaded Calvi to buy 40% of Italy's largest and most prestigious newspaper. With Corriere della Sera, Propaganda 2 had access to a very influential voice in the Italian media. But Italy was not a large enough political stage for the ambitions and influence of the men of P2. On the fashionable Via Condotti in Rome, on the 3rd floor, over some luxury shops, is an office registered to a South American bank based in Uruguay and also linked to P2. In Geneva, there's another very unlikely office for the bank on the 6th floor of this apartment building. The name of the man on the bank's mail drop provides another piece of the puzzle in linking Calvi, Gelli, P2, and South America. Umberto Ortolani is a fellow member of P2 with Calvi and Gelli. He is also a director of the Uruguayan Banco Financiero Sudamericano. Its headquarters are here on Matriz Square in Montevideo. In front of the bank is a column honoring Uruguayan Freemasonry. This house at 1538 Costa Rica Street in Montevideo is Ortolani's residence in Uruguay. 4 blocks away is a house belonging to Licio Gelli. The bank's records indicate that Calvi's Nassau operation became a partner of the Banco Financiero. Under Gelli's and Ortolani's guidance, Calvi invested heavily in extreme right-wing anti-communist newspapers in Uruguay and Argentina. Gelli's closest contact in South America was the Argentinian dictator Juan Perón. Witnesses say they have actually seen Perón kneel at Gelli's feet. Certainly, when Perón returned to Argentina from political exile in 1973, Gelli was among the honored guests. To Calvi, Gelli's contacts in South America were critical.
He got for Ambrosiano some special authorization, special things. Not only that, but with his contact, he could put Ambrosiano in contact with the best establishment, the sound establishment, economical one in South America, not only political.
But they were right-wing governments.
Oh, normally were right-wing, or so-called democratic South American style.
Both Licio Gelli, who we now know was the head of P2,
Yes.
and Archbishop Marcinkus, the head of the Vatican Bank, supported what you and Calvi were trying to do in Latin America.
Of course.
Complete support?
Complete support.